All right, he's right. This podium is not good for short people. But I'll try to make it here. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Ghada Ijam. She is the Senior Vice President of IT Strategy and Business Relationship at Amtrak. At Amtrak, she is actually overseeing the large transformational projects that oversee the full journey of Amtrak, from customer experience to operations to human transformation. Before Amtrak, she also served as the business director at Freddie Mac, and she's had several roles at Intel, including director of strategy. Ghada's real claim to fame, though, at Amtrak is connecting the business and IT to realize that this is a joint endeavor in changing the customer experience. And some of you may be thinking, can that happen? Yes, it can happen. And she's going to talk about that relationship and how it has transformed Amtrak and continues to do so. So without further ado, Ghada.
Thank you, Nishida. Good morning, everybody. The fact that I am here today is really an example of the true business partnership between IT and the Amtrak business units. I am stepping in for Debbie Stone-Wolf, who's the Vice President of Marketing and Sales that was originally scheduled as the keynote speaker. Unfortunately, Debbie had the flu and was quarantined and was not allowed to leave the house. So last night I got a call, Ghada, can you please help step in and present my presentation? So that's basically an example of how close we are working together, because I can step in and talk about the project that we both are jointly leading for Amtrak. So starting with our customer focus at Amtrak. So Amtrak, hopefully everybody here has been on a train. Usually when I do presentations outside of the Northeast corridor, people are not necessarily familiar with our trains. So hopefully everybody has gone on a train trip at least once. We are America's railroad. We do serve the 46 states and 3 Canadian provinces. We cover 21,000 miles. We also carry 900,000 daily commuters on our trains. The identity of Amtrak is quasi-government, that's how we call ourselves. So some of the challenges that you all have in terms of driving a customer experience and driving loyalty and improving that customer experience are challenges that we have because we're a semi-government entity and we do get funding from the government. However, our excellence in customer experience also shows in our revenue and our ridership. So there's a direct correlation about how good we are at serving our customers tied to revenue and ridership. So we feel it firsthand. So as a company, again, because we grew up as a railroad company, for the veterans at Amtrak, they'll tell you we're a train company. However, a train company needs customers to operate and to survive. And therefore, as a company, we're driving for a customer focus. 3 years ago, the executive leadership got together and defined our strategic pillars. And there are 3 strategic pillars. Nowhere in those strategic pillars do you see train mentioned, which is a major transformation for the company, for a train company that grew up as a train company. You see safety and security. That's definitely number 1, job 1, because we are carrying people on our trains. People work on our tracks, and we want to make sure that there's safety and security. Customer focus. We carry people on our trains. You are our customers, and we want to make sure that you have an excellent experience as you ride our trains. And we have to achieve financial excellence. Again, we are a company that generates revenue through our ridership. And we want to increase the generation of revenue and reduce the supplemental funding that we receive from the government. And we call that the operation ratio or the operational ratio. We want to reduce that, at least pay for our operating budgets through our revenue, and then get government funding through capital fund for capital projects. So those are the goals. And in order to drive a customer-focused culture, we created a short-term incentives plan, which is pay for performance. And the customer satisfaction index is 50% of that goal. So if we do not meet our customer satisfaction index, we do not get short-term incentives. The other 50% is on our financial performance, reducing our operation ratio. So in order to create that customer experience, we had to create a vision for what that experience looks like. So we went on a journey to map out the customer journey. So what does that journey entail? We went out and talked to our customers. We wanted to understand the pain points. We wanted to understand the experience that our customers and our riders have as they ride our trains, not necessarily only on the Northeast Corridor, but on the long distance trains, on the commuter trains. And we did a journey mapping to the end of post-trip. What is their experience as they're riding our trains, as they're planning for their trips? Can they find Amtrak? Can they reserve Amtrak tickets? What's that experience look like? When they get into the station, what does the experience look like? And then as they're riding their trains, as they're getting information about the status of the trip, status of the train, where they're headed, the destination, how does that experience feel? So we were able to, with engagement, with focus groups, many train trips, and leveraging some benchmarks and industry metrics, we were able to map the full journey and identify the pain points as well as the opportunities for our customers. So we listened to our customers' feedback, and we were able to map out throughout that journey the pain points that they're experiencing. Those became feeders to creating the end state vision because we want to eliminate those pain points. Next. We also started thinking about the future, the aspirational view of what good customer experience looks like. The gentleman earlier talked about the omnichannel, the journey, the seamless journey, the ability to identify you as a customer and engage with you and provide you with the services that you need based on your preferences that you've articulated early on is our aspiration in our design of our customer experience. So therefore, we realized after all that study and that journey mapping that we have an opportunity. So again, we grew up as a train company. So when we developed our marketing and sales channels, our customer engagement touch points, it was silo. Amtrak.com, which is the website, got developed, and then a few years later, we realized that mobile is a big thing, so we developed mobile apps, we developed the iOS app, and then the Android app. Each channel was developed independently based on that leader and that leader's vision of what that channel should do. And there was competition between those channel leaders. So the Amtrak.com leader will stand up and say, I am the generator of 60% of the revenue. The kiosk will say, I am the generator of the 10% of the revenue. And they're competing against each other, who gets the bigger market share. Well, that's not the right thing because we're forgetting about the customer. So in reality, our vision was, customer is in the center. And all of our channels, all of our interactions, all of our dealings have to be centered around that customer in the middle. And we no longer should compete against each other as an organization. We should work together to achieve excellent customer experience. We did an RFP to build out that end state vision, and we competed that RFP. Our challenge to our vendors was, show us that you got our vision. So it's not going to be a piece of paper that you're going to give us back. We want you to show us through an actual prototype and a way to show us that you actually internalized and actually understood our vision. Deloitte Digital is our partner in implementing that customer experience program, and they showed us that video as part of their response to the bid. So can we see the video, please? Exactly. No video? Sure, we can do that. Okay, let's go back one more slide, please. Okay, so therefore, when we envisioned that customer vision, we envisioned 4 things that we want to achieve. The first one is simple and intuitive. Again, the bar has been set for us not by Amtrak and not by anybody here. It's been set for us by everybody out there that's delivering customer experience. The Amazons of the world, the Ubers of the world, the Airbnb of the world. I mean, there are expectations that are being set by multiple players out there that are interacting with each one of us as a customer and a client. It needs to be compelling. Travel is a choice. You can travel by air, you can travel by bus, you can travel by car, you can travel by train. So we need to be able to compel you to come and ride Amtrak. And we need to create a compelling customer experience to encourage you to ride Amtrak over and over. It needs to be personal. We want to know you. We want to know who you are. We want to know your travel preferences. We want to know your travel habits, so that when you come to us, we do not introduce you to us for the first time every time you come to us. When you log in or when you come to Amtrak for travel, we know who you are. We know what you usually have in terms of routes or train travel, and we want to cater to that. And we want to give you offers that are relevant to you. And then ultimately, this is a huge investment. So it's not easy to go transform the customer experience at a company that's 40 years old. So it will require investment. It will require investment in technology, require investment in people, and investment in culture, and investment in the ongoing maintenance of that technology. So therefore, whatever we do has to return revenue. And again, that's part of our quasi-government identity, is we have metrics that says, you're going to invest this much, the expectation is you deliver that much ROI back to the company. So we are on this journey to implement the customer experience. The first component of that journey is creating that omnichannel that delivers the excellent customer experience. The omnichannel will have to have an easy-to-use user experience front end. Again, the expectation has been set by the industry. The expectation has been set by multiple players. So it needs to be easy. It needs to be enjoyable to come and actually make reservations on Amtrak. Websites or mobile channels or the telephone or the actual kiosk in the station. It has to be seamless across all touch points. So today, if you book on Amtrak.com, you may not be able to see your reservation on the mobile app. And when you call the contact center, they'll ask you for all kinds of information to identify who you are. That's not the right customer experience. The customer experience is a seamless interaction. Wherever you go and wherever channel you choose to use, we should be able to know you and identify you and take you further from where you left us. So if you did a search on Amtrak.com for a DC to New York, and then you call the contact center should be able to say, good morning, Mr. Brown. I see that you tried to reserve a train from DC to New York. How can I help you? And that's the vision of the future. It needs to be personal. Again, we want to know your preferences. So next time you come and talk to us, or next time you come to our channels, we know what you prefer. And rather than have you go through a maze to figure out what reservations you're going to make or what services you need, we can identify you and identify the typical reservations that you have and that you make on a regular basis. From a technology perspective, this is the love-hate relationship between the business and IT. So today, if we want to make an enhancement on our current channels, it takes 3 to 6 months for a small change to happen. The vision of this platform is for it to be a configurable new technology capability that allows the business through a rules engine to configure the services, the products, the pricing, the offerings that they want to provide or offer to the customers, which allows us to be more responsive, which allows us to be more flexible, which allows us to serve our customers better and also reduce the cost of maintaining that system. So that's a major goal that we're working with our business partners to make sure that the technology stack that we're implementing is not customized. It's not really heavy lifting to change, but it is specific to Amtrak. Because if you go out there and try to buy software for a train industry, they'll give you a software for a plane industry or a software for a hotel industry, and that doesn't work for Amtrak. So we want it to be Amtrak specific, but it also needs to be flexible and configurable. And then ultimately, we need to see the business value, dollars and cents, ridership, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty. So those are the major deliverables or the major aspirational goals that we want to achieve with that omni-channel. So from a travel distribution platform, customer in the center, we want to allow the station agents to focus on the passengers. So when you walk into a station, they're not looking at the screen trying to figure out how to make your reservation. They're having a conversation with you and actually delivering the service or what you need to be done at the station. When you call the contact center, they have a 360 view of you. They can identify you. They can help you immediately, reducing the wait time. From an Amtrak.com, it has to be easy, intuitive, personal, and compelling to come to Amtrak.com and make a reservation there. And if you are a guest reward, which is our premier travelers, you need to have a special experience as you come to our websites. And then again, from an IT perspective, we want to have a flexible architecture, an architecture that allows us to tailor and cater to the business needs. The station experience is also important. As we did the journey mapping, it was clearly obvious that as people walk into our stations, the experience is not as positive as it would be if they were walking into an airport. Waysiding, finding their way around the platform, the wait, the actual which platform do I go to, and the boarding experience. All of these are experiences that we need to work on. So there are a couple of programs that are working on improving the station experience. First one is having a next generation kiosks. Today our kiosks are tickets delivery only. And what we want to do is have the kiosks be a travel experience where not only do you get your tickets, but you have the capability to find things around in the area, have an interactive way to find your way around the station, or get extra ancillary products. And then our agents today, they're behind the desk. There's a big glass. Actually, there is a picture that somebody shared where there's this customer service kiosk, but it was taped. There's a tape around it. So what kind of a customer service if you have a tape around you that says, don't come close? So what we want to do is we want to have the agents come to you. The mobile agents concept, and it's part of the TDP Omnichannel, where they have a tablet in their hands and they're coming to you to say, how can I help you? Are you trying to find your way around? Are you trying to buy tickets? Are you trying to print your ticket? Are you trying to upgrade, modify, etc.? So we are coming to you rather than you seeking the station agent behind the desk. So those are the things that we are working on from a station experience. But ultimately, it's the culture that needs to be transformed. We can have the best tools, we can have the best website, but if our people do not understand what a customer service culture is and cannot provide that excellent customer service, then your experience will not be a pleasant experience. Therefore, we are embarking, or actually we have embarked on the Amtrak Customer Experience initiative. And it's all about training, educating, confirming the culture of customer service excellence across the organization. So it includes the station agents, it includes the conductor on the train, it includes the person that's in the cafe. We call them the LSAs, but the person in the cafe that's selling food. It includes us as a management team as we ride the trains, and how can we help in serving the customers on the trains. So it's a cultural change initiative that's focused on our people. It is designed to actually create a customer-centric culture. It is also basically based on feedback from our customers as well as feedback from our employees. So our employees that serve our customers care, and they have input in terms of what makes their experience difficult and what makes their experience easy to serve the customer. And we included their feedback as well as we developed that program. It creates a shared understanding and shared set of expectations on what an excellent customer service is. Today, each person has their own definition of what an excellent customer service is. What this program is defining is the standard definition or the standard set of expectations for the company to say, here's what an excellent customer service looks like, and this is what we expect you to do as an employee of Amtrak. We have the vision, we have programs in flight, and we know things will change. We know new ideas will come up. We know new initiatives will come up. What we don't want to do is we do not want to deviate from that vision. We do not want to deviate from that North Star. We want to make sure that every program and every initiative that comes along is actually going towards that end state vision. So we create that consistency and we do not deviate from that excellent customer service that we're trying to aspire to achieve. So we created a Customer Experience Council. Again, across the company, a lot of people have responsibility for something to do with customer. The operations team, they manage the people on the train. They have responsibility to make sure that the people on the train are providing excellent customer services. The marketing team, they own the sales and marketing channels, which is going to be an omni-channel. They own responsibility to provide an excellent customer experience. So rather than centralizing everybody under a chief of customer experience, we're creating a customer experience council. The responsibility of that council is to make sure that the vision is still alive and intact, and to make sure that as programs and initiatives and new ideas come up, they are vetted and tested against that end state vision. And that's what that council is all about. We just started that council last month, and we're going to learn from it, I'm sure, as we go along. So, bottom line, it is a priority for Amtrak to serve our customers with excellence. The customer focus, as we talk through, is not a technology project. It is all of the above project. It's technology, it's people, it's culture, it's a set of objectives that we can measure and we can reward people for. And it's not just the responsibility of the marketing department, it's the responsibility of every person that works for Amtrak to actually provide an excellent customer experience. Me being here is an example of why it's not a marketing program. I mean, I'm really embedded in what's going on, and I was able to talk to all the pieces, and that's how invasive and that's how pervasive this program is all about. And we do need a vision. We have a vision. What we want to do now is to actually execute towards that vision. So next year, look for an improved experience. I don't know which omni-channel we're going to start with, but definitely next year, please expect something new coming your way.